Dead. All right, so we're recording now to the cloud. Welcome to the Speak Easy Cafe. I am right now going to start the live stream and hopefully, fingers crossed, this will work. Okay, I have to in my name. Is there a name? Hang on a second. I actually have to sign in this time. There we go. What? Oh, shoot. Okay. I'm going to do it this way. All right. Welcome, everybody, to the Speak Easy Cafe. Janelle Anderson here. I'm excited to have you for another episode of the Speak Easy Cafe. Have you ever written a promo post, sent an email, or created a landing page for your event and then heard crickets? It's not that your event is not valuable. It's not that your message isn't wanted or needed. And it isn't even that people aren't interested. It's just that the messaging isn't connecting. So if your words aren't landing, your audience isn't showing up. Let's change that today. Welcome to week 3 of our theme for June, Market Your Event Like a Pro. I am the virtual events visionary, Janelle Anderson, and I help coaches grow their business to 6 figures or more by hosting live events on Zoom, all kinds of events like workshops, master classes, summits, 3-day events, live videos, all those kinds of things that get you out there in front of your audience. And it's crucial that your messaging resonates with your people when you are trying to invite them to that event. So today we're talking about messaging, how to make your event irresistible by saying the right thing in the right way on the right platform and to get them to your event. So not only register, but to get them to your event. So you'll walk away knowing how to talk about your event in a way that makes your audience say, I'm in. Yes, I'm coming. Whether they're reading an email or scrolling on social media or landing on your sign up page, all of those places have messaging on it, right? And so that's super important. And it's amazing how one word can make a difference. One word in your messaging can either turn somebody off or make them think, oh, this isn't for me, or say, oh my gosh, yes, this is exactly what I've been looking for. So it's very important to dial that messaging in. I'm just going to give you some content today, that 3 messaging must-haves that will help you to refine your messaging and maybe even be an aha moment for you as you look at the messaging you have out there already. You might look at it and go, oh, that could be the problem. So 3 things we're going to cover in the next few minutes here. Speak to the problem is number 1. Make it about them. Be consistent. So the first one is speak to the problem and also the desire. People actually are more motivated by avoiding pain than they are motivated by getting what they want, believe it or not. So when you speak to the problem, you are speaking to the pain, you're speaking to that challenge that they want to avoid, and they're going to be more motivated to do that. But you also want to speak to the desire of what they want. So good messaging starts by naming what your audience is struggling with. And we talked about this last week because last week we were talking about titles and topics. Same thing. You want to address the elephant in the room. What are they struggling with? What is their 3 a.m. problem? That thing that they wake up worrying about at 3 a.m. And also, what do they want instead of that? So you're not just describing your event. Like, don't just say, oh, come to my workshop because we're going to do this, this, and this. And, you're going to have fun and you're going to log into Zoom and see me live. All that's important, but you're not just describing the event itself. You're actually speaking to their heart of what they're struggling with, that 3 a.m. problem. And The title should have these things as well. But then in your messaging, on your landing page, in your social media posts, in your emails, you want to say, first of all, how this is going to solve a problem for them. It should be about them, which is actually my second point. But so you want to ask yourself, what's the pain or frustration that they're experiencing right now that your event is going to help them overcome? That's the first question you ask yourself. What are they dealing with? What are they challenged by? What are they worried about? And the second question is, what are they secretly hoping this event will help them solve or achieve? So, of course, you really need to know your audience. You need to know what's top of mind for them and what worries them, what concerns them. And I don't have time to go through that now, but when you're planning your event in the first place, your content itself needs to be answering one of those challenges. It needs to be really focused on one thing that you help them overcome. So now when you're describing it in your messaging, you're talking about that. So you don't want to just say something generic like, hey, join my free masterclass. That's like, well, what's it about and why should I? People's time is very valuable and they want to know what's in it for me. Why should I take my time to show up at your event? And what's going to motivate them is if you can help them solve a problem that's top of mind, they're going to be much more likely to come. So instead of saying, join my free masterclass, you might say something like, tired of hosting workshops that no one shows up for. I mean, that might be mine. Tired of hosting workshops that no one shows up for? Right away, I'm addressing a problem. And then I come in with the solution. Learn how to fill your virtual room and attract your dream clients. That's going to be a lot more motivating than join my free masterclass. So, top of mind problem, turn it into a question. This is really good for emails or landing pages, posts on social media. And then the second point is making it about them, not you. You're already doing that by addressing the problem, right? But now you go further and talk about what is in it for them, right? What is in it for them? Because that's what they're wondering. They don't care how excited you are to teach your content. And this is a mistake I made for a long time where I would talk about, I'm so excited to have this event for you. I'm so excited about what I've created for you. They don't care about that. What they care about is what they will get. What are they going to walk away with? That's what you need to talk about first and foremost in all of your content. Every piece of your promo should focus on their transformation, not you, not what you do or any of that, but them. So phrases like you'll walk away with, discover how to, get the tools to finally, come away with, be equipped to, any kind of action word that speaks to them getting something and be really specific about those things that they're going to walk away with. Not just a general thing like you'll walk away with a mindset shift. That's kind of general and broad, but you'll walk away with a new way to think about, or no, you'll walk away. Let's say it's a mindset shift. You'll walk away with the tools to navigate those difficult conversations from a place of peace and being in control. That's a lot more specific than just you'll walk away with a mindset shift. Like get into the details of how that actually shows up in real life. And I always tell people to use street language, not fancy schmancy coaching language, but use street language. Use the kind of words that your people say every day because they don't know usually what coaching is and all the things that can happen in coaching. They don't even care really what coaching is, to be honest. They're not buying coaching, believe it or not. They're buying a solution to their problem. That's what they're interested in. And there's a saying, you've probably heard it a million times, give them what they want or sell them what they want, give them what they need. So you want to be focused on what it is they want. And then when they get into your workshop, into your event, into your program, then you're of course going to give them what they need that they don't know they need yet. But you've got to speak to that desire. What is it they want to get them there? You have to get them in the room with you first. And then the third point I want to talk about today is be consistent with your messaging across all channels, your emails, your social posts, your landing pages. They should all say the same core message about this event with a little variation in tone or format. And ChatGPT can help you with that. You can ask ChatGPT for the email and then say, turn this into a social post that's more, so social posts are usually more concise and really exciting. And then landing pages is a different format. And what's wonderful is ChatGPT understands and can give you all those different formats that then you can go and tweak. But you want that same core message. Make sure that if you're using ChatGPT that it knows what your core message is. And it can help you come up with that actually. But you've got to tell it. This is what my clients are, my potential clients, my audience struggles with. This is the one frustration or pain problem that I want to address in this event. Help me to create those messages that really speaks to the problem and to what they want, and then you can play around with it from there. But being consistent is so important because that repetition builds clarity and confidence in your people. If they read it on social media and then they see it in an email and then they go to your landing page and it's the same all the way across, they're going to be like, okay, this person knows what they're talking about. And this is the same event. It's not some different event. Like it's clear. It's clear exactly what you're going to be doing. Clear is kind, as Brene Brown says. And also, confusion is going to work against you. So if your messaging is different on all these platforms, you're going to cause confusion, and a confused mind doesn't buy. Actually, a confused mind won't act. If somebody's confused, they're not going to click on your link to register for your event because they're confused about it. So super clear and very simple language, very direct, speak to the problem, and be consistent all the way across. Here's a quick breakdown of those different types of messages. For emails, you can go deeper, tell a short story. I always start my emails with a little story and then connect it into what you're inviting them to. Tap into emotion. Use strong emotional words in an email. So you can go deeper, you can go longer. In a social post, you want to be punchy, attention grabbing openers because people are scrolling. So you've got to have that hook, grab them, and then just be punchy and concise and just get right to it. Make it exciting, make it motivating. And then a landing page, this is where they actually register for your event. You want to make it skimmable. So you want to like use bullet points. You're going to get boom, 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 boom. Bold headlines that are also speaking to the problem and the solution. And then at the end, a very clear call to action. Here, click on this link to join the event, to enroll in the event, to register for the event. Your landing page does not have to be long and involved. I mean, there is a long form version of it, but if you're trying to get people to register, say for a workshop or a masterclass, don't make it a long landing page. Make it skimmable because if they're coming there from a email, they already have some more details about it. If they're coming from a social post, you've already kind of hit on what's going to happen, and then just get those bullet points. This is what you're going to walk away with. The bold headlines will give the promise, will address the problem, and then here, book this, book it now, register now. So if you want help creating your full promotion plan for your events, from your core messaging to emails, graphics, launch timeline, all of that, I'm going to be addressing that plus more in my upcoming workshop, which is actually tomorrow. It's called the Virtual Edge Workshop. It's tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. It goes for 2 hours. We're going to jump into my whole 8-part formula of creating a workshop. It's my 8 P's of a profitable workshop or virtual event. And the workshop is the Virtual Edge Workshop. And I'll show you all the steps that I do. I'm going to give you an actual blueprint of planning a virtual event. And we'll talk more about the promotions and also how to arrange your content and your offer. But tomorrow I'm actually going to be highlighting more about promotions than I usually do. Each time I do this workshop, I kind of zero in on one piece of that formula. So it's free. I'm going to put the link here in the chat in Zoom, and you watching YouTube, you guys watching on YouTube, I'm going to put it, it'll be down there below the video. And so I hope that you can come. Just grab your seat right now and we'll cover a lot more in that workshop. So I want to just finish today with some couple of real life examples of good, clear messaging and generic messaging that won't grab your audience. And you can use this formula. You've probably heard it a million times, and you need to know it to a T. I help who to solve what problem so they can see what results. I help who, that's your audience, to solve what problem so they can see what results, so they can get what are the results. If you can fill that in, you can start building your messaging and making sure it's focused on that. So some real examples that work. There was a Facebook event promotion in a coaching community, and the title said, "The Secret to Filling Your Next Coaching Event, Smart Promotion." Right? That's grabbing attention because they're speaking to the problem and they're also offering a solution very concisely. So the problem that it's addressing is coaches struggling to fill their event. The audience focus, clearly this is to coaches, so we know who it's for. And the clear, consistent messaging in this one is the secret is the smart promotion. And that's repeated all throughout their ad or their promotion. Another one that was for an Airbnb, it was a webinar landing page. And the headline was, "Avoid rookie mistakes and get bookings from day one." If you are wanting to run an Airbnb, like you're going to want to go to that webinar. It's speaking right away to problem and desire. New hosts don't want to make rookie mistakes. They want to get bookings from day one. Pretty clear. So I want to give you an example of something that misses the mark and isn't going to grab people's attention. And that's, well, we've already talked about join our free masterclass. There's no reference there to any kind of problem. There's no audience. We don't know the outcome. It's empty. It's unfocused. People aren't going to pay attention to that one. Another one was on Facebook, and it was kind of a lesson page. It's very vague. It says, "Learn social media strategies." It's really broad. You don't know who it's for. There's no clear benefit or transformation. Yeah, you're going to learn some social media strategies, but so what? For what? And there's no emotion in that. It's not specific. It's not like really bringing in that emotion to connect with people. And here's a quick example of a really good one, or how I took one client from a generic message to a very clear one. This client was promoting a mindset workshop, and the messaging originally said, "Join me for a 90-minute mindset reset experience." But unfortunately, it wasn't converting. People weren't signing up. So we tweaked that to say, "Break free from self-doubt. A 90-minute reset to reclaim your confidence and speak up boldly in your business." Now that's clear. We're speaking to the pain of self-doubt and to the promise of reclaiming confidence and being able to speak up boldly. So she started getting signups. They started rolling in. It was the same workshop, but a totally different response just from making a bit of a messaging shift. So I want to encourage you this week, go back and audit some of your current promotional materials. Go look at your headlines, look at your emails, look at your social posts around something specific, maybe something you're getting ready to promote. And ask yourself, am I talking about their problem, promising their outcome? Am I tailoring it specifically to my audience? And then if you find that you're too generic and you want to tweak it, take the time this week to rewrite one piece using a clear problem or desire, audience-specific wording, and an outcome-focused message. And I would love to invite you to come to my Facebook group, Coaches Who Speak. I also have the same group in Alignable. So if you're in one of those two groups, share the new headline or promo that you come up with from this in one of those groups, and I can give you some feedback on it. So, am I speaking to the problem they're facing? Have I clearly shared the outcome they'll walk away with? Does it feel like it's about them, not just me? And then change it if it's not. So those are 3 questions you can ask yourself. Am I speaking to the problem? Have I clearly shared the outcome? Does it feel like it's about them and not me? So, final thought, you don't need to be a copywriter to create magnetic messaging. You just need to know your audience, speak to their needs, and communicate with clarity and consistency. Remember, when your message lands, they will show up. People are looking for you and they're looking for the solution you have. So let's start turning your words into sign-ups instead of crickets. All right, so that is my content for today. I know we're almost out of time, but if anybody here has a question in the Zoom room, I'd love to hear it. It looks like the chat's been going here. Let's check that. Hard stop at 1. Okay. Oh, Carol's been putting stuff in there. Great, great, great. Awesome. Any questions, Kristen or Carol? Awesome. Awesome. Good. Well, thank you for coming. And don't forget, you can catch all the recordings on YouTube, subscribe, like, comment on that channel. And I look forward to seeing you guys next Monday. Have a great week. Bye bye.